People think, what do you are people? Have you thought about that? How do people see you on your everyday life? How do you live out your everyday life? Or how do you reach out to them in different ministries that you do? Whether it be working in your church, working in your normal 5 to 9 jobs, 10 to 5, whatever hours it is. Some people work in the morning, like Jacob works. Seriously, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not that kind of person. But today, let's turn to 1 Corinthians 9. And in my Bible, they gave this as the heading of Paul's example as an apostle. And we're going to go from 19 to 27. Kind of a big passage, but it'll all tie together pretty well. Although I'm a free man, not anyone's slave, I made myself a slave to everyone, in order to win more people. To the Jews I became like a Jew, to win Jews. To those under the law, like one under the law, though I myself am under the law, to win those under the law. To those who are without the law, like one without the law, not being under God's law, but within Christ, to win those without law. To the weak I became weak in order to win. I have become all things to all people, so that I may, by every possible means, save some. Now I do all this because of the gospel, so I may become a partner in its benefits. Do you know that a runner in a stadium all race, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way to win the prize. Not everyone who competes exercises self-control in everything. However, they do it to receive a crown that will fade away, but leave a crown that will never fade away. Therefore, I do not run like one who runs aimlessly, or box like one breathing the air. Instead, I discipline my body and bring it under strict control, so that after preaching to others, I myself will not be disqualified. I want to start off with how it says, I'm a free man, but I became a slave. To the Jews, I became a Jew. To the weak, I became weak. The ones that were the law, I became likewise. And he became certain people so he could reach them. He reached those people. That got me thinking today. How much are we in our comfort zone that we're not willing to go to, instead of being here and like pulling them up, yeah, we're sitting here going, instead of going down to them, we're pulling them up. It's like fishing. When you throw it out there, you wait for the fish to get going, you pull the fish to you. We're supposed to be fishers of men, but not in the sense that we're trying to pull them to us, we need to go to them. And that's what it got me thinking about. How do people see me? Am I going to the people that need help? Am I helping someone that is weak, showing them that I'm also weak at points? Because we're not perfect. We're all weak. We're all broken. Every point that Paul makes in this passage, we've been there at one point or another. Or we can get to that point just by stepping out of our comfort zone. But most people, that scares them. To leave the little area they feel safe and to step out and do something bigger and better that they would never have done just sitting still. The song that came to mind was My Own Little World. I don't know if a lot of y'all heard this by Matthew West. And the video itself is a great view of how you see it. It shows a man in a pool tub, and he's a homeless woman. And he sees every day. Instead, he goes along the point and he realizes, that's somebody. That's an actual human. Goes down and gives him money. The person gets in with God. He shows them other people that need help. Someone with a broken car. Someone that just lost their job that's walking down the street. When we look at each other, we don't know what that person is going through throughout the day. You don't know if they just lost somebody. You don't know if they just lost their job. You don't know if, they might be homeless and you can't even tell sometimes. We had a great opportunity to go to Carpenter's place and in Rockford, Illinois, and you have to visit with them. Certain homeless people, breakfast in the morning. It was interesting, because some of the people I was seeing walking on the street would never get 2 thoughts that they were homeless. And that's what I love about this weekend. We're going to go to Steakhouse. And so, when you see these people, we sat down in Rockford and we got to talk to these people, and their stories, whether it was some of them that might have been a drug addiction that got them to that place. One gentleman we talked to, it was because he moved away from town and he moved back and he couldn't get a job. It wasn't because of certain things, it was because he moved back to be closer to his kids and couldn't find a job. So ultimately it resulted in him being homeless. But it says, in every possible means to save someone. That doesn't mean I tried, I give up. You gotta keep going. You can't just try once and quit. You gotta keep at it. It's a daily life. And sometimes it's not even the way we talk, the way we walk. Do our actions show that we're living that Christian life? Are we showing the compassion and love that Christ has shown to us, to other people? Now it goes on in the latter part of 9, where it starts talking about grace. And the way I picture it is like this. When I was in high school, for some odd reason, I decided, because I normally when I play basketball, I go to basketball camp, I just play football. I decided I'll go to both camps the same week. Once from 1 to 4, the other one from 4 to 6. It'll work out fine. I didn't take into account that I was doing full court, back-to-back suicides, game, and then football was, we started instead of running laps, we did about 150-yard dashes down, then back, down, then back. So, after one day after basketball, I was like, I just want to get over with running football. I got 2 hours. Let's just get it done. So I run down, and I was the first one down, so that kind of surprised me. I mean, the running backs, I'm kind of a big boy at this point. I beat everybody down, and I'm kind of thinking, what is going on? And one of the coaches usually runs with us. He got down and said, if he beats y'all back, any of the running backs, quarterbacks, he beats you back, he gets to go home. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the prize, I'm like, if I win, I go home. Don't practice in the next few days, I'm done. So I just bolt as soon as he says go. I get about 50-yard line, I'm almost there. All of a sudden, I start seeing one running back, the next running back, the quarterback, the next quarterback, receivers. I go, I'm not going to get this. So I keep pushing. I was the first to the line one time, that made me feel a little better. But I lost. But yeah, I still won in a way that they saw that I kept going, that I didn't give up after I got past. They gave them time to practice off, to rest up, to water up, and give the other guy his time to run. But see, we got to run in such a way, in our life, we got to show our Christian life in such a way, that just running the race isn't good enough. That people can see it in us. That they see what we're doing. And they're going to want, I want some of that. I want to do that. That's what gets me want to watch the Olympics. If you watch the Olympics, Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, I watch just watching people fall down. I like seeing people fall during the Olympics. But the Summer Olympics, I love watching the running part of it. Because each person in their own country has their own style. Whether it's the way they hit the strides, the way they hit their breaths, the way they might pass the baton. Everything's different. Each one has their own way. And that got me looking at this to run in such a unique way. We can run like everyone else in this world. We can do the exact same things. I'm pretty sure when you turn on MTV or one of those reality TV shows, we can look just like them. But that's not going to do us any good in reaching more people for the kingdom. Because if we do that, then that's just canceling out the first half of this. There's no point to reach down for the weak. To reach out to those that are still trying to find hope. Because that's something that we found. We found that hope. We know where that hope is. When it comes about exercising our body to keep it right, that we need to keep saying in the word, stay devoted. It's so necessary. We have to have this to keep that race. It's like if you're running a race and you don't know where you're going. You have all these things that tell you where to go, so you just follow it. Well, this is like us running a race. This is telling us this way, that way, where to go. Without this, we're running aimlessly. We don't have nowhere to go. We have no goal. And then we've got it with the discipline of our running and be strict. Know our weaknesses. Know where we fall and work on those. Don't concentrate on what you do the best and keep pushing it out. But you also need to work on your weaknesses. Because if you're weak, the enemy will defeat you. He will keep batting and batting until you're defeated. He won't go away just because you're running the race and you're doing all your right things, yet you're still doing the wrong things. And what a lot of people realize is when you're doing this race, people might see a change in you. They're going to see the change. If you run the race, you stay on course. They're going to see the change. They're going to see, something's changed about you. I can't put my hand on it. Or, I see you used to do this, but now you're doing this. And they'll see that change and want to know why there is a change. But I love verses 26 and 27 because it gives us exactly how to run our race. Therefore, I do not run like one who runs aimlessly or box like one beating the air. Instead, I discipline my body and bring it under control, strictly, so that after preaching to others, I myself will not disqualify. So, once you get your goal, your idea of what you need to do, which is our goal is reaching more people, spreading the gospel, then we need to discipline our bodies to be ready to be able to go out into any condition, be anywhere to preach that gospel. Some people might be stepping out of their comfort zone and be a little intimidated, but they need to know it's okay to be out of that comfort zone. You've got to be there. Because if you're not there, who is? You have one opportunity sometimes to get to somebody. That might be the only opportunity they ever get to hear the gospel. And if you're scared to leave your comfort zone, you want to live this life thinking, I could have done more. That's one of the things that our coaches always taught us in school. If you can look in the mirror and tell yourself that you did your absolute 100% best, no matter win, lose, whatever the outcome was, if you can look in the mirror and tell yourself that, that's good enough for us. We don't care what the outcome is. And that's how we need to live our Christian life. Can you look in the mirror every day and say, you've done your absolute best to reach people for Christ? To reach people for the kingdom that's coming. Because if you look in the mirror and say, I haven't done my best, you need to figure out what you can do to be better and get close to that 100%. Because we need to be at that 100% every day. So 3 things I want to point out. To run for the purpose. Obviously, our purpose is the kingdom. That purpose, not a lot of people understand the purpose or get the concept. Or they might understand but doesn't have the right knowledge or might have a different view of it. So we need to sit there and help them and guide them through. And show them that, who the gospel is, that's what was preached. Not going to heaven with God, but there's a coming kingdom. That the kingdom is coming. The second point, disciplining your body and making it your slave. That's difficult, because we're so used to doing what we want to do, that I don't feel like doing this today, I'll go do this. I don't want to read my Bible today, I'm going to go outside and play. Or I'll go do this. We've got to discipline ourselves and we've got to read this. If we don't read this, we're not doing anything. Because nothing's valid unless we have this in us. A third point that I would like to make is, after you preach, live a life that does not disqualify you. Sometimes people will talk, and then they live a completely opposite life than what they preach about. sit up on Sunday morning and preach something, Monday night you're doing something completely different than what they preach about. The total opposite. When people see that, they're thinking, well, they preach it and then don't live it, why should I live it? We have to be that example. If we need that example, then who will be? So, for all this, just whenever you get there, think about it. What can I do to be better to the people around me? How can I change something that they'll notice the change and want the same change? And I can speak from experience. From my junior year to right before I started going here, I had taken a lot of my own paths and started living a life that wasn't so godly. And then when I realized what I was doing, and I was like, wow, how could I have fallen so far? But with today's world, it's so easy. There's so many things, social networking, TV, movies, even some books that you read can easily get you distracted from God's Word. And before you know it, years have passed and you feel like you're so far down the path, you can't make it back. But because of the grace that He gave us, we can. We just got to stay focused. Keep our eyes on that prize. Because we know what the prize is. We just got to keep running for it. I just don't see how we can get so distracted if we are in this for so much. Whether it be 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. If we can be in this more than we're in the world, and our lives show it, how can we not reach people just for our actions for the kingdom? So as we go throughout this rest of this week, especially the kids that will need to praise God, just think about this whole weekend. What am I to these kids? What can I show these kids this weekend that they normally wouldn't see at home? Wouldn't see back wherever they may be, Louisiana, Michigan, Ohio, whatever state they may be from their friends. They're going to be away from their friends and be here with us. What can we show them through our daily life that they wouldn't see back at home?
Amen.